XRP will now be worth $8,257 each, and this price will stay in place until October 31st. One of the most important experts in the field has confirmed it. The best part is that the knowledge behind it is the introduction of 654 trillion that we've been talking about the whole time. This number, 654 trillion, has also been confirmed by many people, including Ripple himself. In fact, Ripple's CEO Brett Garlinghouse just confirmed that the company has been asked to add XRP to huge markets like real estate, insurance, trade, finance, and a $600 trillion market, which he says was created by the co-founder of XRP. Arthur Britchew said that XRP was made for billions of people and billions of dollars, and that it would eventually be worth $10,000 per X. XRP's market cap and volume have already started to soar, which shows that there's a direct link between the news I'm about to share with you news that will add 650 trillion to the XRP ledger and the price per XRP, which is said to be going up to $11,000 by October 6th, which is in 4 days. But hold on a second. Before we tell you the news, we need to let you know that we worked with Uphold to give everyone today's movie could earn you up to $100 in free XRP once more. This is $100 that you can take and use to buy more XRP to stock up before the big XRP breakout. So, I strongly advise that you seize this wonderful chance. It's really just free money. It only takes 5 minutes to do everything. You only need to like, subscribe, and share the video. After that, you need to sign up, post using the link in the description, and make a purchase. That being said, let's start today's movie right away. Ripple's CTO, who goes by the names David Schwartz or Joel Cass, has announced that he's leaving Ripple Labs. However, before he left, he told us something very shocking, something that will make the price go through the roof, into the thousands of dollars. Look at this, he adds. Ripple CTO confirms banks have begun integrating XRP, revealing that Ripple Bank will run 100% on XP ledger transactions, driving all payments and unlocking trillions of dollars. Again, this is huge news. However, was just the beginning of the big news. Later, something even bigger came out. David Short talked about how XRP could become the world's reserve currency and indirectly confirmed that it will happen very soon, at the end of 2025. This happened live on Twitter, or whatever you want to call it. But David Schwartz said the same thing before he quit, which was more shocking news. But this is just the beginning, because everything, including the huge price of XRP and statements from Ripple's CEO, comes down to one key number, $65,439 trillion USD. This is what will enter the XRP ledger and drive the price of XRP all the way to $11,829, an amount that would make a lot of people in the XRP group millionaires almost right away, and a price that Arthur Britchew, co-founder of Ripple and co-founder of XRP, actually said he thought XP could reach $10,000. It was back on June 3, 2023. The idea is finally starting to become clear, because huge institutions are putting trillions of dollars into the XRP ledger and using it to build and create things. The price of XRP would skyrocket to $11,000. And in this case, there's one company that we've talked about before. They're putting billions or even trillions of dollars into the XRP ledger, with over $2 billion added in the last week alone. Seriously, this is crazy because they just said that you can now buy and sell real estate as well. Yes, there are real goods on the XRP ledger. You can actually use XRPL to buy them. Now, it's even better if you look at RealV. RealV is the company that is freeing up trillions of dollars. These things have been kept secret. Well, I've been looking and researching a lot, and I had to dig so deep before I found this huge school. It turns out that these guys are actually unlocking all the money on the XRP ledger, or rather, all the real-world asset money on the XRP ledger. They have already released over $2 billion in asset value across 10,000 properties in more than 50 locations. Right now, you can buy real estate worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions of dollars using the XRPL and the real estate institution. Things get even stranger on October 6th, though, because look at this. The next phase is now open for business that uses the real token, which is based on the XRP ledger. The real estate ecosystem is growing, and more people will use it. The technology and the XRP ledger will be integrated on a big scale, and real tokens will be used to pay for and receive rewards in real estate in the future. Plus, they put out a video proving that, if you look closely, you can see that it says payments, real estate, and rewards. It's also clear that they're building a future with XRP ledger technology and real tokens. If you look at this, the XRP system is also used in this technology. And finally, let me tell you about the real ticket, which is the main asset being used right now. They're using the real token, and the XRP record is going through the roof. I mean, this thing has been out for 3 months, and the price keeps going up. In about 2 months, it went from being worth a tenth of a penny to being worth more than 4 cents. That's 1,000 times the original amount. What I'm saying is just my opinion, but this thing is really breaking the charts. I really believe this is a very strong sign. Opinion, this thing is really big. I believe the organization is doing a great job, but when you think about it, all the money will move in the same direction towards the exit token. Take a look at this. The real token will have to handle all the money, and the math shows that the price will rise to over $65,000 if only 1% of the 650 trillion goes into real tokens. Do not believe what I say, look at this. With just 1% real token could go from worth 2 cents to 64,500 in the $650 trillion market. Why is that the case? The reason for this is that there aren't many real tokens available. See, 100 million real tokens were made in part 1. That is no longer there, though, since they've already destroyed more than 78 million real coins. I believe their current stock for phase 1 is around 20 million to 22 million, but their supply is so low that a supply shock is almost certain to happen. It's pretty much quick. Guys, as soon as the money starts to move, there will be price shocks. Since demand is going to rise, there won't be enough supply to go around. This is what is going to happen, so the price will have to be high. That is, you get a lot of money, but there isn't enough to go around. That difference has to show up in the price. The only cryptocurrency that is in the green is real token, while the market as a whole is in the red. You can see this on the charts again. So, Bitcoin is one of the few that hasn't gone up in value. Take a look at XRP, which is currently sitting at $2.95, which is 0.25% Q, 5% in, while real token is up 4% and was up about 7% not long ago, and it's still going up. If you look at this very strong support levels, very low resistance. Breakout is almost going to happen. Take a look at the charts, guys. This is something ready for breakout and probably will keep going up as we get closer and closer to that important date. October 6th is when a lot of money could possibly flow into the XRP ledger and become real tokens on the XRPL. Another huge thing is that we know this is the best project because it's new and solves a real-world problem. The assets are useful things in the real world and they are on the XRP system. But guys, look at this. Look at this. Only the best projects, like XRP, XLM, and XC, get scores of 10 out of 10. This project got a score of 10. The only cryptocurrencies that get a 10 out of 10 are these ones. Why? Since this list of top users with low risk shows, Us.Thankx has 3,235 wallets and 100% kick scores for low risk. This doesn't mean anything. Guys, if you look at XRP, you'll see that it has about 10 million users. About 7 million XLM wallets hold these things, and they're sitting in XRP, as we already said. XRP is at about $3 or $2.95, and XLM is at about 20 cents or 30 cents. Even with that, real token has 3,000 wallets, which isn't doing anything. If you look at the total trading volume for real token, it's like $10,000 a day, $10,000 every day. And if it goes to $100,000, it needs if $100,000 worth of transactions happen every day, the price will go up into the hundreds of dollars. That's why there isn't enough for everyone. That's why $10,000 into real token. There's a huge chance. Imagine someone put in a buy order for $10,000. That much money in real token would make the price go through the roof. But once more, I'm not a business expert. It's not good for business. It's because I'm optimistic that I say this. Real token is a good buy. I'm optimistic about the XRP ledger, and real token combines the two. It's also backed by a huge company, which makes everything so much better. It looks like this chart could not be better. Also, it's still very early, right? You see, right now RealTalk isn't listed on any organized exchange, but its value keeps going up. It went from 1/100 of a penny to over 4 cents. We just said that this happened in such a short amount of time without getting any attention. Selling it or listing it on a central exchange. It's still very hard to understand. Just think about this. There are only DEXs and XRV ledger DEX. It's really hard to understand. Think about how much this thing will go up once it's listed on a central market. You do know that the real token's price will go through the roof, right?